Welcome to the New York Yacht Club in Newport, sailing capital of the United States. Here, at one of America's most prestigious sailing venues, the 2018 Resolute Cup unfolded. The New York Yacht Club has a long history of hosting premier sailing events, such as the biennial Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup for international Corinthian sailors, its companion event for U.S. yacht clubs, the Resolute Cup, as well as numerous national and world championships.
I think from a sailing point of view, in terms of the events we run, we try to put ourselves in a position where we're helping the sport, promote certain events that we think are important to the sport, like the Corinthian events, like the Invitational Cup and the Resolute Cup, which is a challenge amongst yacht clubs in the United States, and the Invitational Cup, which is a Corinthian event amongst yacht clubs around the world. So we see ourselves as one that fortunate enough to have a great venue and some great assets, and we like to see ourselves promote those kind of events with the resources we're lucky enough to have. This yacht club started with 9 yachtsmen in New York Harbor, and historically the membership has always been very involved in sailing and yachting generally. Even to this day, all our members have some interest. You know, to become a member of New York Yacht Club, you have to demonstrate some interest in yachting and yachting activities. So it is a membership of people who are united by their interest in yachting and on the water. In a lot of ways, we wanted to be sort of part of and social with and connecting with the rest of the yacht clubs around the United States. We think it's a very important kind of entity in the sailing community, the yacht club. Everything from our team racing events, which is a club-on-club event. We initiated that 20 years ago amongst teams in the United States.
2018 marks the 5th edition of the Resolute Cup, which featured the top amateur teams from 28 of the country's best yacht clubs. For the first time in the Resolute Cup's history, there is a team from outside the contiguous United States, demonstrating the appeal of this fiercely contested event.
The Resolute Cup was started in 2010 as the U.S. qualifying series for the New York Yacht Club Rolex Invitational Cup. 2 years ago, it was renamed and has become the de facto U.S. keelboat championship for the best amateurs in the country. We're excited that this year there'll be 28 teams, including one team from San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is the first time that we've had a team from outside the lower 48. Competitors run the gamut from amateurs in their late teens and fresh out of college to older sailors over the age of 45. We have national champions, we have collegiate All-Americans, we have Pan Am Game medal winners, we have Olympic medal winners, and we have America's Cup sailors in this particular year. The geographic diversity of the event is extremely important. We have competitors from bays, rivers, inland lakes, West Coast, East Coast, Gulf of Mexico, and now, of course, the Caribbean with the San Juan entry. It's important that we do that so that the championship level remains high and the competition remains the best it can possibly be.
This year, the Resolute Cup is using the One Design sonar keelboats, which are rotated each day. Every boat has the exact same equipment and specifications to ensure the leaderboard is decided only by the skills of each team.
Well, the sonar is a wonderful boat that is a One Design class. All the boats are evenly matched and rigged, particularly here at New York Yacht Club. The boats have been maintained by the club. Every boat that we rotate into is structured the same way. Third time at the Resolute Cup, and every year progressively the club has become more and more supportive of this event and the awareness of the members is continually growing, and I think that is predicated on the New York Yacht Club's support in terms of the media coverage, the marketing of the event, and helping us really articulate what it is that we're doing.
Among the participants, we find famous sailors like Suzanne Leach, Clay Bischoff, Bill Lynn, and Augie Diaz. So the competition and fight for bragging rights was going to be as thrilling on the water as it was exciting for the spectators.
There is pressure between the big yacht clubs for the representing team to win, but I would say also there's pretty friendly competition, and it's at a level where everybody's going to sail really hard, but it's not going to get out of control. The Resolute Cup is very attractive because it's very even competition. We're all in the same boats, going at very much the same speed, so it comes down to what each team and crew is able to do to achieve a good result. And that's always very exciting because it takes the speed factor kind of out of the equation, so you have to have good starts and good positioning, and that's what it comes down to. Being at the New York Yacht Club is super special. Come on, you look around here and you see what's going on, and that's not just the tradition, but it's the people. The people here at the New York Yacht Club go out of their way to make you feel welcome. I have been here a number of times, and both for, like, say, laser Master Championships, and we were super welcome. So the Resolute Cup is very special, and the New York Yacht Club putting on an event like this is really great because it's a platform where all the clubs can send their representatives and have a great regatta, a great event under great conditions.
Every year, the popularity of the Resolute Cup builds, attracting more and more yacht clubs. 2018 featured 4 clubs making their debut on the start line, keen to feel the race intensity and excitement of competing against famous sailors and clubs from across America. And of course, be in with a shot of securing a place at the 2019 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup.
In general, I'm just excited to be racing with all these awesome clubs that are here, and being part of the whole New York Yacht Club scene is pretty fun. And there's some awesome sailors here like Augie Diaz and a whole bunch of other people. There are definitely, a bunch of people at our club that are pretty excited about this whole thing. My family and our kind of close friends are pretty excited about it, and it's a lot of fun for all of us to be here. So hopefully this will be, something we do every other year. Our club, there's kind of similar conditions, like normally we have a lot of light wind days, so we haven't done too much preparation, but we had a couple, practice days, which was really helpful on the boat because I've never been on a sonar before and some of our crew hasn't, so I think the preparation days were pretty useful for us.
Reflecting the push in sailing to ensure equal opportunities for men and women, some teams fielded a balanced male-female ratio, with the Houston Yacht Club featuring more women than men. Sport is all about selecting the best athletes for the job, and the women's sailing pedigrees ran deep.
It was intentional for us to achieve gender balance. We felt it would portray a very well-rounded entry for the club if we had 2 men and 2 women sailing with us, and we thought that would be a fantastic representation of what the club has to offer. I think gender balance is really important in sailing. It's truly a family sport, and emphasizing the family aspect and the fact that you can have men and women sailing and competing together is something that's only going to help our sport grow in time and in the future. And so continuing to emphasize things like that is one of the best ways that our sport can continue to grow and stay relevant.
So the team was selected through a couple different ways. Sandra Baldridge was kind of the brainchild behind applying for this and having Houston Yacht Club do this. And so we sat down a year ago and applied and kind of thought out who we would want to be on the boat. And it wasn't a thought process of men or women, it was kind of who would work well together and who would represent Houston Yacht Club the best. And so it happened to be 3 females and a male, but it just came down to that we work well together on a boat.
Preparation is the most important aspect a team needs to secure top results, particularly in a sport like sailing, where both skills and strategy play a major role in delivering your racetrack plan.
For this year's Resolute Cup, we practiced on our club IC24s because we don't have sonars back at our club. So we practiced quite a few times in order to train and prepare for this year's Resolute Cup. So I think the key for winning or doing well at the Resolute Cup is going to be consistency, especially at the starts. All boats, we expect them to be pretty similar in speed. So I think tactics and having good starts are going to be the keys to doing well. Great that it's the one design that all boats are going to be the same. We're rotating through boats. So I think that's going to demonstrate that the team with the best skills and the best sailing skills are going to be the winners at the end. This is our first time at the Resolute Cup, representing Club Náutico de San Juan. So we're aiming to get into the medal races on Saturday and get into the top 14 teams.
Amongst the numerous star names competing at the Resolute Cup, one of the most famous was Brad Dellenbaugh. He brings with him the experience of numerous Olympic campaigns and from being the chief umpire for the 2007 America's Cup. He also has a tremendous amount of local knowledge after years working on Narragansett Bay. Brad's familiarity with the rules and the wind definitely gave his team an edge.
I have a lot of experience as an umpire and international judge, and I do a lot of regattas in the America's Cup and things. Does that apply here? Yeah, a little bit in the way I think about things. A lot of that comes from my coaching that I've done over the years too. It's just kind of a way to approach things and to stay out of trouble, not get into risk positions. So I kind of know what the consequences are. Newport's my home territory now, and I've even before I moved here 12 years ago, I've raced here lots and lots of times. Over the past bunch of years, I've been running regattas here, so I've been looking at the current and the wind and what goes on. Of course, now it's a little bit different than it's been in the past, but the current still goes in and out, and the wind has certain channels that it likes to come down, so I think that's been an advantage.
A different kind of competition was unfolding between an athlete and her former coach. Volvo and America's Cup sailor Melissa Purdy was coached by Brad Dellenbaugh when she was at Brown University and was keen to secure the upper hand here in Newport.
It's a great competition. We're next to each other. It seems like every single race we're within a boat of each other, so it's been fun.
Over time, clearly Brad has watched enough racing to learn how to race because he's doing quite well.
Well, I love racing here at the New York Yacht Club. I've worked here for a number of years running the sailing office, and I used to do a lot of my sailing up here. And I live here now, so it's great to be local. So I've spent a lot of time out on the water here, umpiring or running regattas. But I really like having this type of regatta because it's kind of turnkey. You have all the boats are set up. You don't have to do any preparation. You come out and you're equal to everybody else. You rotate boats, and it's all sorts of people that I know from back at Augie Diaz I used to race in college, and Melissa I used to coach.
Racing at Harbor Court, New York Yacht Club, is much more pleasant than San Francisco. It's not waves overhead and freezing, so it's definitely a much more pleasant experience.
The après-race hospitality at the Resolute Cup gives sailors from across the USA the opportunity to socialize, discuss racetrack movements, revisit old and discover new friendships.
The aspects of being at the Resolute Cup is the fact that it brings clubs together from all across the country, and you're able to sail with sailors that some of which you've sailed with since you were really young, but also some of which you'll never see again. And I think it's really cool, just the diversity of the amount of different types of sail. You get every type when you come here, and it's really, really cool to be able to be a part of it all. I definitely think I'm able to meet some interesting and famous people here. I'm sailing against some of the best sailors in the country and some of them in the world. And it's nice to be able to just kind of come in after the day and talk with some of the people that have been winning these races and winning the regatta maybe times in the past, and then go over and then just ask. I had a conversation with Billy Lynn from Corinthian, and I was like, so Billy, how do you just make the boat rumble and how do you make it go fast? And he was really helpful and just so eager to continue to give more back and help me with getting off the line and get going. I mean, sailing it's the best sport in the world. I mean, you're on the water, it's competitive, it's hard racing, but once you get back, you're at New York Yacht Club, which is the best facility ever to sail a regatta out of. And then once you're able to go up onto the patio and have a drink with some of your friends, I mean, what more could you ask for?
The first 3 qualifying days were difficult for teams as the breeze evaporated, testing the skills of the race management team and sailors. Light winds tested the patience and resilience of the competitors, and the 12 qualifying races challenged the most experienced. Scores were up and down, and no team was able to take a commanding lead into the medal race day. 14 teams advanced to the 3 double points medal races, with the podium wide open.
The plan today is really just to go out there in the first race and try to get the best finish we possibly can. We're not really too concerned with points at this point. The reality is everyone's so close and there are so many teams that are towards the top that you can't really be focused on any one team. I think we have our hands full with our own boat and with the conditions. So we're just going to try to sail our own race and let the chips fall where they may. There's no team really that we have our eye on. Obviously we know who the top kind of group is, but again, with the medal race and all the medal races counting, it's really hard to get too focused on one team. Again, I think it's going to come down to whoever sails the best fleet race today is ultimately going to win the regatta.
We don't have any real specific strategy. We're not super worried about the other boats. Everybody's so close, and when the points are doubled, things can change so quickly. So we're just going to go out and just sail our race and have fun. And we've already exceeded our expectations coming here. We've had a great trip. We're all best friends on the boat, having fun, laughing, and so we're not taking it too seriously. We're just going to go out and have fun, see how it all comes out. There are so many teams within 10 points that I don't think you can focus in on one boat. In these light conditions, you could have a good race or a bad race. So we'll wait until the last race, and if the points are close, we'll probably develop a strategy then. But for now, we're going to go out and sail. We're not going to get conservative. We're just going to keep doing what we've been doing, and hopefully that formula will work for us and we do okay.
It all came down to the final day as teams battled it out to make gains. 3 different clubs claimed the medal race wins: Shelter Island Yacht Club, the San Francisco Yacht Club, and Larchmont Yacht Club. Consistency pays and is the key strategy for success. A A steady performance from the San Diego Yacht Club rewarded them with the 2018 Resolute Cup victory. Impressive form from Tyler Sinks and his team.
So we're super happy about the results. Obviously, it was a hard-fought battle all week, and we're just thrilled to have pulled it off. Ups and downs all along, but you know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and the team pulled it together when the regatta was on the line. So definitely fired up and glad it worked out for us. There's a lot of stuff that was tough about this weekend. Obviously, the conditions probably being first and foremost. We had basically every direction. It was light all weekend with a lot of current and a lot of chop. Also, the talent here was super deep. Everyone was really competitive. I mean, if you look at the entry list, there was world champions, Olympians, kind of all the way down the list. So the combination of the competition and also the conditions made it a really challenging week.
It's a wrap. Another successful event for the New York Yacht Club, with the Resolute Cup growing ever stronger and generating another league of fans for the future. The San Diego Yacht Club team claimed a golden ticket for the Rolex Invitational Cup and will be looking forward to again set the performance marker when they return here to Newport.
Was it a successful event? Absolutely. We had 28 of the very best teams in the country, and what makes it such a great event is it's basically competition between clubs. Clubs all bring their A game, and the amateur competition, it's a Corinthian event, is spectacular. The highlight of the event was probably the fact that it wasn't clear who was going to win it until the very last race. A lot of teams could have won this regatta in that last race, and that's what made it so exciting to watch. I got a chance to watch quite a bit of it as a spectator, and it was really exciting in that last race to see who was going to win it. It was so close. Our plans are to keep doing it, and we think that as the clubs and their teams see how competitive this is, they're going to continue to step up their game. Most clubs bring their A game, and the ones that don't realize this is the real deal. This is as good as it gets for amateur competition, and you need to work on it and get the right guys lined up and bring your A game.